It's quite extraordinary, though, the story about your mum and how you learnt love, if you don't mind telling it,
Oh,
because I just
yes.
think that's just a phenomenal, phenomenal story.
The chapter called "You Are Love." Of course, sometimes we think about love, we automatically think about relationship love or partnership love. But the greatest lesson in love came when she was about to go, and you could feel her breathing starting to slow down. And there was this period from 2 in the morning where I said, "Squeeze my hand if you can, you can hear me, mom," because she couldn't talk anymore. And she squeezed and she looked at me with her black eyes. And it was this 2 hour period, Sarah, goosebumps again, where I just poured out all my heart. Love will never end. I love you forever. Thank you so much for being my mom. We chose each other. And then I said, "You can go. You can let go," because I could tell she was holding on because she'd been married to my dad, together with my dad for like 40 years. And there was that sense of like, she didn't want to leave him. So I was like, "I promise I will take care of daddy." And I did. He lived with us. He was there for a while, um, till he was able to transition. And so it was this moment, Sarah, of really understanding that love is action. Love is living in this energy. Love does not expect anything in return. The grabby kind of love is, "No, hold on, mom, because I want you to be there
Yeah.
for me. I want to be able to call you. I want you to comfort me." But it was this real, let your soul rest and you can go. And then she let go of my hand. And then shortly after, she took her last breath. And so for me, it was like this like awakening of this heart energy. Like I had never felt this pain. It was like mixing with this grief, this loss, but this real expansion of like, this is what it's like to really love, this freedom of things flow and they go, but we can't grab, we can't hold on. So out of that, like you said, you were surprised I left. It was just like I looked at my whole life and I was like, what am I going to do with my time? What am I going to share? What do I want my life to be like? I want to live in truth. I want to be in this love. And it wasn't really possible in that relationship. It was so scary. The nights I share about in the book, just crying in my closet every night. Like I felt like my life was ending. Now I'm a single mom. I'm a new mom. I lost my mom. It was all these big energies coming in, but it was in that period. It's true when they say out of the darkness, it's like one step at a time. So in that, I met with a monk at the Self-Realization Fellowship, which is Yogananda's organization, his meditation organization. And the monk said, "Kimberly," he's like, "just treat your home like an ashram for 5 months. Just, focus on yourself." And that's what I did. I meditated really deeply. That's when I really reread all of Yogananda's work. I read scripture. I read the Gita. I read the Tao Te Ching. I reread the Bible. I read everything I could get my hands on. And I was just in this, going into this centered place. And then, as I describe, and we can go on with the story, but some months after that, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to start going out in the world. I'm going to meet with friends more. I'm going to go to dinner." And it was at that place I went to this random, actually, someone I met on the podcast, I didn't know that well, invited me to this random dinner party in Venice Beach down the road with like 12 people. And that's where I ended up meeting my amazing soulmate husband, John. Right. But it came from this like, oh, this fear, this darkness, sitting with that, integrating the shadows, finding the light that's always there underneath through these
Mm.
powerful practices that Yogananda teaches us. Connect in, connect in. It's so specific though, Sarah. It's not like, I love Eckhart Tolle, for instance, and you probably had him on your show too. But some of it's like, oh, but how do I do that? How do I go in the now? Whereas Yogananda is like, this is how you breathe, and this is what you do with your spine, and this is what you do in the morning, and this is how you pick your life partner. I really appreciate that practicality, and that was how I was able to really move forward.
It's an incredible story, Kimberly, because firstly, I mean, like you said, we all go through hardship. Doesn't matter who you are in life, everyone has hardship. And I think people hearing that it brings so much comfort in the sense that when someone is dying or passes away, like you think, like, I'm not going to survive without your love. So to hear your story on how you not only allowed her to leave your mother, but then you found this love, that love is eternal, and that, love, if we're giving unconditional love, that's part of unconditional love, is they don't have to be here because you will always
Yes.
love them regardless, as you said, if you can talk to them on the phone or not. And I just think it was just all the steps that you've done is so brave, but they have enabled you to then move forward in your life in such an amazing, amazing way. And I truly believe it's then allowed you to tell this unbelievable story, which, has helped
Yeah.
so many people.
Oh, thank you, love. And it's true. It's the overall theme here, and Yogananda said something that I'm paraphrasing, but the funny thing about the world is the things that seem real aren't really real, and the things that don't seem real are real. Meaning, we focus so much back to this peripheral nervous system, what we see in form, the surface,
Mm,
what we look like, what the numbers are, all this stuff, and yet underneath is the real energy. Who we are is not just this surface, little bag of skin and bones. It's this potential. It's this energy. Love is this energy. So when we focus on this person's leaving, it's just this physical part of them. So instead of focusing on the physical, we expand the love into the metaphysical. We
mm,
go beyond the boundaries. I feel so close to my mom still. I've had so many experiences of connecting with her. She's around. She's around the kids and the family. I feel like my heart's blown open. So a big part of this work and what Yogananda teaches, and when I talk, there's no coincidence that the first chapter is your fearlessness,
mm.
the 26 soul qualities in the Bhagavad Gita that Yogananda expands on, to attain this real godlike life, this epic, real successful life. The first one is fearlessness,
Yes.
because, like he said, if you don't get past fear, you're not getting on the map, right? You're really not going to move your life forward. So we look into the fear, we look into the shadow. I'm fearful of losing a loved one. I'm fearful to let go. I'm fearful of being called a single mom. I'm fearful of being rejected, right? All the millions of fears. We have to breathe into that. That was that moment, Sarah, where I felt that, no, I don't want you to let go. I mean, it's okay. We find a way to breathe through, and it is in that letting go. It's like your hand opens up and all this energy starts to come in, comes into your spine, it comes into your life, it opens your chakras, it opens your heart. And you say, oh, this is what enlightenment really starts to feel like, which isn't this end destination, but just more light, more awareness,
Mm.
more, you know, getting past these little limits that fear, constriction, limitation, identification makes us feel. And we just keep opening up more and more and more.